Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hang on just a second, folks. I'm trying to get a little sharing going on. Morning. Yeah, let me tune that down. Good morning. Good morning. And there we go. Good morning, Chainbreakers. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wow, a couple of you in here early this morning. Gene Hinkleman, good to see you. Jeremy George, good to see you. Nathaniel Banks, good to see you this morning. Wow, right in there from the start. Glad to have you here this morning. Good morning, Chainbreakers. It is Wednesday. It's Hump Day. September the 18th, 2019, and this is going to be another fantastic day because that's the day I am choosing for it to be. Good morning, Chainbreakers. I am Brad Smith. I am your host for Chainbreakers 365 Live and the creator of hashtag Uplift and Rise. And I want to welcome you here today. This is going to be a fantastic day today. We're going to kind of dig into something that really we kind of got to remind ourselves of every now and then. And I'm talking about remembering what it's like to be a kid again. There's a lot we can learn from children, and I'm not talking about middle school age or high school or even in a lot of cases grade school. I'm talking about being a child. I'm talking about those preschoolers. There's a lot we can learn from children that are, say, 2 to 4 or 5 years of age. And what do I really mean by that? Well, there's a lot we can learn in it because children that age are filled with courage because they know no fear. So they're not afraid to take something new on. They're not afraid to try something new. They're not afraid to try something different. Sometimes, yes, to a fault. In fact, I saw a post the other day on Facebook I had to laugh at, said, there is nothing faster than an infant who you just asked what they just put in their mouth. So that had to make me laugh a little bit because a child is not afraid to try anything. And if they think it's food, they're popping it in their mouth. They want to see what it's like. They want to try something new. They want to change something. They want to experience something new. How many children do we turn to? And we hear this story all the time. Don't touch the stove. It's hot. But what does a child got to do anyhow? They've got to touch the stove because there's that curiosity in them. That curiosity that wants to try and wants to experience and wants to learn and wants to grow, right? And above all, children have their imaginations. Later, as they grow up in life and we get them into school, we start teaching them rational thinking. We start teaching them how to reason and how to reflect. We choose them now what they can't do. We start teaching what they're not able to accomplish. We start putting them in front of phones, or we start putting them in front of the TV or in front of games or in front of videos. And we take what it's like to be a child and use your imagination away. Have you ever noticed maybe when you bought yourself bought your child a gift for Christmas and you were really proud of it? You thought there was really something they were going to enjoy. And what did they do? They spent more time playing with the box because that's where they were releasing their imagination. That's where they really got to be creative. That's really where they got to experience something new and something different. And I'm here to tell you there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because those people that are constantly thinking outside of that box, or in those children's cases, inside the box, because that box became their world, we saw something in a whole new light. We saw something that we others see as impossible, and we think it's possible. We see untold untold imagination, untold goals that we can truly accomplish. This morning on hashtag Rise and Grind, Glenn Lundy showed us a video of Steve Harvey talking about imagination. And then you talked about your imagination and that vision that keeps coming back to you. And you start seeing that second home. You start seeing that new car. You start seeing something you wanted to create. And it keeps coming back and it keeps coming back. And you want to know why. The why, according to what Steve Harvey said, is God is showing you a preview of what he has planned for you. God is showing you a preview of what God has planned for you. And if you want to see that video, Glenn said go in and just Google Steve Harvey imagination, and that video is there. And I'm guarantee you I'm going to check it out later today. But that's what I really want to talk about, because it's in that imagination that Thomas Edison created the light bulb. It's in that imagination that Alexander Graham Bell created the telephone. It's in that imagination that took us and put a man on the moon, that started shooting not only to the moon, but past the moon and into the stars. That imagination is where cars came from. That imagination is where computers came from. That imagination came in thinking about what else is possible. So I want to ask you today, as you reflect on your life and we get rid of the limitation, we get rid of the rational thinking, we get rid of the you can't do this, it's not possible, you don't have these skills, you don't have this. And let me ask you, where is your creativity taking you? What preview is God showing you for what's possible in your life? Where his plan for you keeps replaying in the preview that God has planned. So if we truly knew, and this is where, again, I want you to think back to being a child. If we think back and we truly knew where limitations were, where people started telling us what we weren't capable of doing, and now we just blow that out of the water and start thinking like a child and start saying to ourselves, this I can do, this is possible, there is no limitation, I can do this, I can create this. If we knew how awesomely powerful we truly were, there isn't anything that we wouldn't try. And every single one of you has that inside of you. Every single one of you has that innate ability to grow, that innate ability to learn, that innate ability to accomplish something greater than you ever even dreamed of. Or in this case, you dreamed of, but you left it there in your dreams. Let's take those dreams, let's bring them into today, and let's turn them into your reality. Because you have that ability inside of you. And best of all, if God is planting that in your heart, if God is giving you that preview of what's possible for your life, then that is your plan for your life. That is the plan he has given you. That is that vision of what he's given you is what's possible. And don't you be so silly as to tell God, I can't. Because he knows you can. If God is putting a Goliath in front of you, it's because he sees a David inside of you. If God is putting this immense vision in your mind, this immense vision in your dreams, it's because he sees it inside of you that it's possible. And not only that it's possible, is that he's giving you the skills, he's giving you the resources, he's giving you everything you need to accomplish what it is you need to be able to have to attain it. There is nothing that's impossible with the vision that God has given you. What we just need to do is release that inner child and be a kid again. Be a kid who no longer knows fear, who has that courage inside to try something different, to be willing to fail, and in that grow and learn. And keep trying, keep going, keep working. I am floored when I keep hearing people use failure. I've used it before, a lot of times. And let me tell you, my friends, there is no failure in life. There are setbacks. There are speed bumps. There are mountains we may have to attain, but there are no failures until we quit. That's when failure takes over. That's when we become a failure. You are not a failure. You just found another way it didn't work. How many times did how many times did Thomas Edison create a light bulb that didn't work? But he didn't see himself as a failure. He just found another way that a light bulb can't be created. And he kept working to find the way that it could be. Use that imagination and keep reaching inside of you. Keep pulling out that child again that's willing to put something in their mouth without even knowing what it is, that's willing to reach up and try something even though they might get burned, that's willing to step out of the box, or to use that earlier example, to set the toy aside and play in the box. Create and use that innate imagination that gives you untold, unimaginable capability. You have it inside of you. And I ask you today to get back to being a kid again. Remember what it was like and become that child. Get rid of rational thinking. Get rid of all those emotions that tell you it's not possible. It is time to retrain your brain as to what it is you can do. You are so immensely powerful, you have no idea what you can truly accomplish until you've done it. I think if you honestly stopped and looked back on the last 5 years, look back on the last 10 years, shoot, look back on the last 6 months, and you may realize that what you thought 6 months ago wasn't possible, you're living it today. Every single thing that you think isn't possible, and yet you keep pushing forward, you keep moving forward. And in some cases, people say, I fell, but you kept falling forward. It isn't until you stop and quit that you have succumbed to failure. So my friends, I ask you, find that child inside of you and realize that you are immensely powerful. I believe in you. Because if you didn't have that ability to grow, if you didn't have that capability to learn, that you didn't think that something else inside of you was possible, you wouldn't be here today. You wouldn't be here listening to this message. You wouldn't be trying to retrain your brain to learn how to reach for God's purpose in your life. You wouldn't try to figure out how to find and grasp a hold of that brass ring. You wouldn't be trying to figure out how to grow. Let me tell you something. You stop growing when you start rotting. You start rotting when you quit learning. Learn today, my friends. Learn what is possible for you to attain. Learn that no goal, nothing that you can possibly imagine can't be attained. Is it all going to be rainbows and unicorns? No, it's not necessarily going to be easy. But it is something you can do. It is something you can accomplish. It is something you can be in your life. I guarantee you this last 6 months for me has looked nothing like the last 6 years. And you can create that change in you too. I want to thank you so much for being here this morning. Tag somebody in this, share this out, hit that share button and send it out to your friends, send it out to your family. There is somebody that needs to hear this today. There is somebody that has a vision locked inside of them that is absolutely capable of being accomplished. But let me give you one last warning before I sign off today, folks. Do not share your imagination with small-minded people, because they'll start telling you how it's not possible. It is possible. They can't see it because they don't have your vision. So take that vision, folks, put it into your steps today and keep walking toward that goal. Think about how you can get there. Keep reasoning as to how you can accomplish, and it will come. Thank you so much for being here today. I want to tell you, I absolutely love you for being here. You mean so much to me. You have helped me so much, and I hope I have been as great of a help to you. Share that out, folks. Share this message out to your family and your friends. Let people know this vision. You can catch me here every single Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Chainbreakers 365 Live. Or if you don't see it now, you can catch it on replay. Susan Sherman, thanks for being here today. Be sure to say good morning. Be sure to say hello. Say hello to me, and I'll say hello back to you, whether it's now, live, or whether it's in replay later. And if you have trouble catching these on Facebook, if you have friends that aren't on, they can go to YouTube and see us at Chainbreakers 365 there, or at chainbreakers365.com. Thanks so much for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you again this time tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Have a great one, my friends. Bye now.